In this segment of Midday with Mike, we're going to talk about the iconic Christmas season short play. It's called The Gift of the Magi. And to tell us about its significance, delighted to welcome a good friend of ours, longtime guest, author, Thomas Fellows, who joins us from Houston. Thomas, it's good to be with you. Why is it good to bring up Gift of the Magi this time of year?
Well, I think it's huge because it talks about what the season is all about, giving gifts. So in The Gift of the Magi, there's a poor couple in New York, a young couple, Jim and Della Young. And Jim is most proud of his watch. Della is most proud of her hair. And what they end up doing is they end up sacrificing what they really want. Della cuts off her hair to buy Jim a watch chain, and then Jim sells his watch to buy Della a very nice comb. So they sacrifice for each other. It's an example of cosmic irony. And I say in my first book, you never really love someone until you're willing to sacrifice for them. Without sacrifice, there can be no love.
And of course, that's the terrific connection between the two. There's also, want you to explain, talk about the empathy. You know, we sometimes fall short in having empathy, but this really is needed this time of year as well, right?
Absolutely. Well, one of my favorite MLK Jr. quotes is, as long as there's poverty in the world, I'll never be rich. As long as diseases are rampant, I'll never be totally healthy. I'll never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be. And this brings us into the economic definition of love, where your happiness is based upon somebody else's happiness.
Thomas, as an author, I know you've used, pardon me, many quotes during the holidays, but is there any one particular, and about giving? This is the giving season, but is there one that stands out to you?
Well, this is misattributed to Winston Churchill, but I'm going to say it anyway. You make a living by what you get. You make a life by what you give. And that's so true, especially when it comes to business. I just started my own company, writing reports ahead of time before charging the customer a dime. It's working out so well. I'm being customer obsessed like Mark Benioff, and I'm treating the customer like they're number one, like Bill McDermott has done throughout his career at Xerox, SAP, and now at ServiceNow.
You've written almost, if my count's right, you've written more than 10 books.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. As you look forward to 2025, I know there's always another story percolating in that mind of yours. What are you looking forward to?
Well, I am going to write a book on risk called Rolling the Dice, Risk Aversion Explained. It deals with the different types of risks that you should take and risks that you shouldn't take.
Thomas, one last thing. How can we get a copy of The Gift of the Magi?
You can go to Amazon and also barnesandnoble.com.
Just simple as that. Thomas, happy holidays if we don't talk to you again before
Yes, thank you.
And
sounds good.
We'll look forward to seeing you in the new year.
Sounds good. Talk to you later, Mike.
You bet.